that's why neuroplasticity is so beautiful, because that is wired in, but we can rewire our minds and we can have these new patterns that we adopt, and we can really learn how to become present as we heal ourselves, as you help people heal. Then, as we take steps forward to create this next chapter of our life and let the old chapter behind, we create this new beautiful chapter. We can now have these new patterns that we adopt, where we're aware of what are we thinking about, and are we thinking about abundant thoughts? Or are we negative? Or are we criticizing ourselves or others? And if we become aware of them, then we can shift them. And so many of us in this fast pace of life that we live, we're not taking time to be present. We don't even think about what we're thinking about. So I really help my clients get more present and really change those thoughts, because we allow those thoughts to get in our way even after the healing.
Yeah, and the mind's, again, running through its resources trying to protect you. So that's why unresolved trauma has such a major effect. So if you're
Mhm.
trying to rewire your brain to do something new, right, and your mind looks at anything that had been bothering you or any kind of emotional concussion or trauma, it won't rewire. But if it's something that you've never done before and there doesn't seem to be any kind of a threat to it, it can rewire. So if you don't resolve the trauma, you're limiting the neuroplasticity and the resilience that you could build. Getting rid of that will allow your resilience to maximize, allow your neuroplasticity to maximize. And that's why we're publishing this study now showing our youngest in the study was 15, our oldest was 63. And they were dealing with, some had anxiety, post-traumatic stress, depression, and panic attacks. So really severe cases, and they gave us cases that were not responsive to traditional treatment. So they really gave us some tough ones. And our 45.6% was the average change in neuroplasticity after resolving their trauma, which is
Yes.
phenomenal. So they
Mhm.
may have had 5% or 10% before that. Now they've got 45. Imagine how life-changing that's going to be for them.
No, that's step one. You've got to figure out what's in there that's holding you back. No question. If you have unresolved trauma, you've got to figure out what that is, because it's always going to stand in your way.
Yeah. And you see it in so many things, people afraid to fly, people afraid to get in new relationships. They'll just say, this is, the way my mind works. It's just the way I've always been.
Mm.
And when I started doing all my research to figure out how to save my daughter, I came in as an entrepreneur. And as entrepreneurs, we know, what do? We challenge everything. And
Exactly.
I was like, why would you be anxious? What
Right.
made you anxious? Your mind doesn't get anxious for no reason.
Hmm.
And so I talk about anxiety as, I says, think of anxiety as the email that keeps coming into your inbox and you ignore it, or you delete it, or you put in antivirus software to block the emails.
Don't shoot the
Right.
messenger.
Right. The email may be a message from your bank that there's suspicious activity on your account and it wants you to look at it and resolve it. Is there or isn't there? And so if you don't resolve it, the email keeps coming, the anxiety keeps coming. And so the question is what is creating it? Because as you and I are both, pretty spiritual. We know that our minds and bodies are designed to heal. So what's interfering with the healing? We're in fight or flight. The mind doesn't want to do healing as long as there's a threat, because the focus is on survival. Maintenance will take care of itself after we get away from the lion.
Yes, so true. Get away from the lion.